Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Modern Horizons Supreme Draft. Now, Hogek and the Tree Folk are fun. I do want to do snow if I can, but I think today we are going to focus on the Igneous Elemental deck because I love the red-green lands decks so much. And I actually want Bogard and Dragonheart as well. Okay, second pack, we have Force of Rage, 2 Magmatic Sinkholes, not just one. A Croson Tusker and a Trumpeting Blast. Or Trumpeting Herd, excuse me. I think I just want the Magmatic Sinkholes. So the deck is red-green and relies on getting some cards in the grave, and Magmatic Sinkhole is like some pretty excellent removal. I do want Trumpeting Herd and I do want Croson Tusker, but I don't think I can pass up both of those. Okay. Echo of Eons is fun. It's definitely a card that you can play in this deck, and it's not a bad one. I've had some problems on rare occasion where I would mill myself out, basically. There's not a lot of red and green cards that are great in this pack, so I think I can take Echo and Savage Swipe. If I'm not taking Echo, I would have to take like Snow-Covered Forest or something like that, and that wouldn't be bad, but Savage Swipe I think is going to be a little better. And we'll see about the Echo. We may not end up running it, but... Okay. Bellowing Elk is a good creature. It's pretty strong. Springbloom Druid, though, is quite good because it fixes our mana, it finds our snowlands, like, does a lot of stuff. I think I'm going to take both of these because that kind of helps fill out our curve quite a bit. Regrowth, not bad, but it's better in, like, weird combo than it is in our deck, I think. Okay. I'm going to start taking some snowlands because I do want them. Conifer Worm is pretty good. Croson Tusker is also really good. I think I'm going to go with Croson Tusker and Snow-Covered Forest. Conifer Worm is better in the all-snow permanence deck, which is not what we are doing. Ooh, Prismatic Vista is very good. And we have a choice to make. Rime Tender is good, but we don't have a lot of actual snow basics right now. We have a few ways to get them. Same with Astrolabe, or we take Lava Dart. And I kind of actually really like Lava Dart because having the ping is great, but being able to sack a land to get a land in the grave is fantastic because Igneous Elemental relies on lands being in the grave. So we're going to do that. Okay. The Snow-Covered Mountain, another Conifer Worm. I probably should not be passing these up. I should be, like, maxing out on snow permanence right now, shouldn't I? I think I take Savage Swipe and another Lava Dart. I like having a lot of 1-mana removal in this deck. Mother Bear is pretty good. She provides value out of the grave, as well as, like, just as a creature that can be cast. And a Snow-Covered Mountain, I would not mind. So, this pack does not have a ton for us. Treetop Ambusher is just aggro, and so is Viashino Sand Sprinter. I like Fists of Flame. I think I'm just going to take the Forest here. The first sliver, a Conifer Worm. I think I'm going to take the Conifer Worm now. And another Mother Bear. I don't want 3 Savage Swipes without a ton of creatures that are 2/2s. Glacial Revelation is a fantastic card, but you have to be almost exclusively snow permanents to be using it. Because if this card doesn't pick up 3 cards, you play Divination and milled like a third of your deck. So, be aware. Kaya's Guile is pretty fantastic, but we don't have black or white. I think we take Dragonheart and Winding Way. Winding Way can get us more lands or more creatures, and I think it's actually really good. It's like quite good in as far as like getting us more lands and stuff goes. Alright, so Waterlogged Grove is another way we can get lands into the grave, because we can sack Waterlogged Grove, so that's how we can turn on Igneous Elemental. I was hoping to get more Igneous Elementals by now, but we're 2/3 of the way through the draft and haven't really seen any. It also potentially fixes for Echo of Eons, which I'm happy about. I kind of want to take Lesser Masticore. It's great with Savage Swipe, it's a really powerful creature. We can discard a land if we cast it. Yeah, I think that's the play. Wrenn and 6. Well, I think I'm in the right strategy. We'll take Saddled Rime Stag. This creature is very good. It's basically a 2-mana 4/4 as long as you keep playing creatures. which is not that big of a restriction. I don't think we need a third lava dart. Question is now, do we need to dip into blue, and if so, how much? Abominable Tree Folk, odds are it's a nice card, but we're probably not going to be playing all that much blue, and it's not going to be that big pretty much ever. We have 3 snow permanents, or like 4, I guess, with the creature. I think the better bet for us is to take Treetop Ambusher, and I guess the Amorphous Axe. Yeah, we're going to do that. I don't know if we're playing the Axe, though. Okay, Igneous Elemental is fantastic. I would take a third Magmatic Sinkhole, but I don't think we can support it with all of the delve required. I do kind of want more creatures. Hollowhead Sliver is fantastic. If you have more than 1 sliver on the board, you can just like loot through your whole deck very quickly. Really sad that we're not playing black because Endling is quite good. I'll take a Springbloom Druid. Seasoned Pyromancer is exactly the kind of card this deck wants to be playing. It's excellent card advantage. You know, we can just play it when we're empty-handed and draw 2 cards, and it's Divination on a bear. I'm kind of tempted to take Regrowth. Vengeful Devil is fine. I don't know if I can play 2 Lesser Masticores. We could also play Trumpeting Herd. Trumpeting Herd synergizes with things like Bellowing Elk quite well, or Saddled Rhymestag. I think I'm going to do that. Okay. Another Saddled Rhymestag and another Bellowing Elk, both of which are really good as far as our creatures are concerned. We have a decent number of snowlands, like I could consider a Frostwalk Bastion. I'm just going to take these 2. Collector Oof. We're starting to get to a lot of 2-power creatures. I actually want to take another Savage Swipe. And I kind of want to take a Scale Up. We're going pretty wide in the early game. I don't think the activated abilities of artifacts is super relevant and limited here. I think we take these 2. Rhyme Tender, somewhat reasonable. And so is another Trumpeting Herd. But I don't know if you've repeatedly Savage Swiped someone when it's good. But it's really good. Okay. So I like our creatures. I don't think we need to be playing blue. So I'm going to cut Echo of Eons. Basically all of our creatures until you get to Springbloom Druid and higher have 2 power, which is fantastic. Oops, we're definitely playing Wrenn and 6. I was trying to click Amorphous Axe. I think to start we're only going to play one Lava Dart. And I don't think we need Winding Way in this deck. If I had to cut our most mediocre creature, it's probably Conifer Worm, because we only have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 snow permanents at most. And it's a 5-mana 4/4, and the rest of our creatures are just a better rate than that. I think I cut Dragonheart. Dragonheart is really good. The question I have is, can I support 2 of them? Because without creatures to sack, it's only a 2/2 and nothing else. It doesn't have flying naturally. You have to give it flying. Okay, I need to cut 1 more card. It probably should be a Savage Swipe. We're not ever going to really draw a lot of cards with the exception of Seasoned Pyromancer, so I think I can probably cut Fists of Flame pretty safely. So, counting Trumpeting Herd as a creature, we have 16 creatures, 8 non-creatures. And I have to say that I'm actually like quite happy with this deck. Oh, hang on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. Alright, I will see you guys in round 1. Alrighty, here we go, round 1. I can work with this simply because we have the redraw off the land and double of each other color. How good this hand is really depends on what we draw, but I'm not that hurt by what we've got going on here. I think this hand is actually quite good. Okay, opponent starts Undead Augur. We get a Lava Dart. Play Rhymestag, pass the turn. Unfortunately, we do not have a creature in the 3-drop slot. to basically ensure we could swing in. Okay. We were hoping to draw probably like Seasoned Pyromancer, really. We could ping and sack a land, but that puts us behind too. We're not going to attack, we're just going to pass. We'll leave up Lava Dart if we really need it. We drew a third mountain, so I don't mind sacking if we have to. Okay, opponent gets in for 2. We'll take 2, go to 16. Pass, we draw Magmatic Sinkhole. Okay. Play Bellowing Elk. Go to combat and attack for 4. Okay, opponent chumps, draws 2 cards, and loses 2 life. They play a mountain, so our opponent is probably playing the sacrifice deck. It was like removal, attrition, and a lot of like goat naps, basically. Goat naps, Bogarden, Dragon Hearts. The deck is good as far as this limited format is concerned. Okay, we get our opponent down to 14. If my opponent does not play a creature here and only leaves Undead Augur, I'm going to ping it and then sack to ping again. Goblin War Party. Okay, bunch of goblins. And they're going to defile a token. Okay. Is it worth it to ping 2 tokens? You know what? I think it is. Okay, we're going to take 2 and go to 12. Trumpeting Herd, we cast again. We draw Igneous Elemental. So, play Waterlogged Grove, play Igneous Elemental, ping down the last Goblin token, and hit our opponent for 4. The only way this would be better is if we had 3 red sources instead of 3 green sources right now. But I guess we can't hold up Magmatic Sinkhole at the moment, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, opponent Lava Darts. Lava Darts again. We untap. We draw Forest. So we're going to Sinkhole. Exiling these cards out of the grave, leaving up Waterlogged Grove sack, basically. Opponent draws a card, loses a life, and we hit them for 7. Okay, they go to 2. They might concede. Yeah, okay. Not sure how our opponent would have dealt with that situation. I don't think we have anything for the black-red deck. We're just going to run it back. We've run in 6 on 2, but with no way to take advantage of it explicitly. But we're on the draw. I think I'm going to keep anyway. If we drew Prismatic Vista off the top, I'd be thrilled. Okay. Play a Forest. Pass the turn. It's best if my opponent plays nothing, but if they play something, they should play an X1. Ooh, scale up. Play Ren in 6. Uptick Ren in 6. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a swamp. Undead Augur. Sorry about the yawning, folks. We get a Snow Forest. Play the Forest. Cast a Treetop Ambusher. Take up Ren in 6. Okay. Pass the turn. Put a Blazing Mountain. Attacks Ren in 6 for 2. We draw a Sinkhole. Play a Forest. Take up Ren in 6. Trumpeting Herd. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent Rain of Revelation. So they draw 3 cards and discard a mountain. Now, Ren in 6 is not particularly threatening at the moment. But my opponent was able to throw enough resources at killing it, which is good for us. We're going to start this next turn off with an Elephant. Oh, they're going to Ninjutsu? Yeah, that's only combat damage to players, not planeswalkers. Okay. Get an Elephant. Draw a Mountain. Okay, since we did not play Echo of Eons, and we didn't pick up Regrowth, we have no way to buy back any of these cards. Which means, since none of them are lands, I'm just going to delve them. And they're going to finish it off with a Defile. Okay. Well, we still have creatures. Top decking any untapped land gets us to Igneous Elemental, which is really good. They can kill an undead augur if they replay it. Okay, land please. There it is. Kill augur. Opponent does get to draw a card. Opponent plays another Ingenious Infiltrator. We untap and draw Mother Bear. So first things first, we go to combat and attack for 4. Take our opponent to 15. Play Bellowing Elk. Play Mother Bear. Pass the turn. If my opponent attacks, I am quite willing to block with Mother Bear. Sorry everybody, I'm holding off my coffee today because I am waiting to actually go hang out with a good friend of mine and they want to get coffee. Six Sigma, what did you say? It's not my birthday! Alright, so we draw Spring Bloom Druid. We're just going to, yeah, we're going to do this. Get back the tokens from Mother Bear. And attack for 4. Okay. Opponent is running like mono removal. If they attack, they lose. We have Scale Up, Overload. Okay. We draw a Sinkhole. To play Spring Bloom Druid. Sack a forest. Get a mountain and a snow-covered forest. Kill Ingenious Infiltrator and attack for 4. I was really hoping our opponent would attack. Okay, they ransack the lab. They discard Goblin War Party and a Swamp. They Smiting Helix up to 10, but that will not save them from the worms. Hit them for 12. Nice. Alrighty, well, I will see you guys in round 2. Alrighty, good morning and welcome to round 2. I'm recording this on a different day, as you may or may not be able to tell. I've not had all of my coffee yet, so let's hope that that does not negatively affect my ability to play the game. Alright. This is a fine keep if we draw a green or a red source. It's fantastic. Okay, opponent starts Plains Astrolabe, so they are some form of snow deck. We draw a mountain, which is quite good. Play forest, pass the turn. Well, the question is now, if we were going to play Pyromancer, what would we discard? That's something we need to start thinking about this early. Turn off auto yields, I almost F6 through my turn. Whew. Play land, pass the turn. That was almost really bad. Okay, opponent plays a Wall of Blossoms. I get to draw a card. And they play a forest and attack for 2. Okay. We untap. We draw an Igneous Elemental. In that case, I'm going to play Spring Bloom Druid so we can curve this into Igneous Elemental. We can deny our opponent a mana by killing Rime Tender. So we'll sack a mountain, and we'll get a snow-covered mountain and a snow-covered forest. Okay, pass the turn. We can now cast basically our entire hand. Opponent attacks for 2. No blocks. They play a land. They play a Twin Silk Spider. Okay, we untap. We draw another Igneous Elemental. We'll play Igneous Elemental. Kill Rime Tender. Pass the turn. Okay, no attacks for our opponent. We untap. We draw Sinkhole, which would be nice. However, we do not have enough mana to cast it with Delve. If I had enough cards this turn to use Magmatic Sinkhole, I would probably just attack and leave this up. But because I do not, the question is, we can play Bellowing Elk, Spring Bloom Druid, Trumpeting Herd, or Igneous Elemental. And I think just playing the Elemental and taking out the Twin Silk Spider is best. Attacking is a little bit risky, but I think they probably don't have any pump spells. There's not too many good pump spells in this format from what I recall. Go to combat. Attack for 4. So they have Wing Shards. Okay. Not really what I expected, but this is a good removal spell. Settle Beyond Reality. They flicker and draw a card off of wall and exile our Igneous Elemental. Get in for 1. Okay. Well, that is a lot of premium removal that was just used. So, I'd really like to draw lands and start to get these cards from my hand onto the battlefield. I kind of want to play Pyromancer for that reason. I think I would discard, like, Springbloom Druid, and I'm not sure what else, but we could fight the wall. We're going to go one more turn and play Burrowing Elk. That'd be terrifying. Bellowing Elk. Burrowing Elk. Can't believe it. Could you imagine if elks could burrow? Jesus. Okay, no attacks for our opponent. We draw a forest, so play a forest. We will Trumpeting Herd. Okay. We could fight a creature right now, but I don't think I'm going to. I think we just attack for 4 here. I was actually thinking my opponent might have another Wing Shards. This is a lot of mana, though. Blizzard Strix. Did you mean to block and then flicker? I mean, this has trample, so I guess maybe that doesn't really matter. Okay. Well, let's see what our opponent does. They play an island. They get in for 3. No blocks. Ninjutsu? Fallen Shinobi? Because that would be bad. Yep. Okay, well that has to die immediately. Opponent gets Scale Up and a Forest. Neither of which are useful, because they can only do that this turn. Unfortunately, like, Scale Up is a way that we usually can win. Okay. Trumpeting Herd rebounds. So, Bellowing Elk now indestructible again. Well, as soon as this resolves, anyway. Okay. We draw Forest. So, play a Forest. We have 6 mana. So, Savage Swipe will have this fight this. Nothing we can fight with can get the pump right now. So we have 4 cards in the graveyard. We could play Dragonheart, sack Springbloom Druid, and then, like, kill the wall. I actually don't mind that a lot. I mean, we don't even have to sack anything this turn, if we don't want to. I think I am going to do this. Okay. So attack for 7, pass the turn. Even if my opponent has a Wrath, Seasoned Pyromancer is, like, pretty excellent as far as how we could recover from that. I guess if they... No, never mind. I was going to say if they have Dead of Winter, that would be a problem, but... We draw Mother Bear. So play Springbloom Druid. Get a mountain and a forest. Okay. Sack Springbloom Druid. Give everything haste. Or give, not everything haste. Give Bogarden Dragonheart haste. And a whole bunch of other things. And then attack, 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 attack. They block here, they take 10. I'm also going to attack with Springbloom Druid in case they have another Wing Shards. Blizzard Strix. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize I could target your opponent's permanents. It's pretty sweet. So they're going to trade, and then... No, they're going to just take 8 and go to 1. Wow, okay. Alright, that makes a little more sense. They're going to take 5 and go to 4. And I think we play Mother Bear here. Seasoned Pyromancer is really good. Don't get me wrong. But if my opponent plays a Wrath, I want to play this card after it. Okay, they concede. My opponent doesn't really have a lot of X1s, so I don't think Lava Dart is good. Conifer Worm and Bogarden Dragonheart are good, but I don't know if they're better in this matchup than anything we're playing right now. We did pretty alright, so I think I'm just going to run it back. If I had a single green source, this hand would be perfect, but it is not. Alright, I can work with this. Keep, put back a forest. And we're probably just going to curve Rhymestag into Springbloom Druid, potentially into Seasoned Pyromancer. So, start forest, pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays Mother Bear. Play Rhymestag. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays Prismatic Vista. Attacks for 2, no blocks. Turns Vista into an island. And they get a Twin Silk Spider, okay. We untap. We draw a mountain. Now, would I rather play the Springbloom Druid? I think at this point I would. So play Springbloom Druid. We're going to sack a mountain. get a forest and a mountain. Go to combat. Attack for 4. Now, if I don't draw anything else to play, I will play Pyromancer next turn. We have to discard 2 lands, and we don't get any elementals, but changing 2 of these lands into actual playable spells is probably worth it at this point. Okay, opponent attacks for 2, no blocks. We untap, we draw Renin 6. Okay, so play a mountain. Play Seasoned Pyromancer. We'll discard our lands here. Okay, we draw Igneous Elemental and Mother Bear, which is pretty sweet. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attack with Springbloom Druid and see if I can bait my opponent into blocking. They don't have double white, so we don't have to worry about wing shards at the moment. Okay, that works. Then we'll play Renin 6 and down tick to kill the spider. When my opponent attacks Renin 6 with Mother Bear... Oh, okay, they factor Fiction. Good Fortune Unicorn and Soul Herder? Yeah, you can have those or those, but you can't have both. Anytime your opponent takes the smaller pile with Factor Fiction is a tiny victory in your favor. If you can ever get your opponent to take the 1 card in a 1-4 split, you split correctly. But that's not always possible. Okay, opponent takes the 2 cards. Untap. So at least we don't have to worry about the Blizzard Strix Flash right now. If they just play Soul Herder, it's going to die. Okay, they attack Renin 6. We definitely are blocking here. So they'll probably play Good Fortune Unicorn first, at which point I'm going to kill it with Igneous Elemental, or I'm going to kill an Ice Fang Quaddle with Igneous Elemental. Either way is fine with me. They play a Plains. Okay, and now they play Good Fortune Unicorn. In that case, I'm going to down tick Renin 6 to kill Ice Fang and kill Good Fortune Unicorn with Igneous Elemental. Top tagging a land made this even better. So kill Ice Fang, play Elemental, kill the Unicorn, play a Forest, play Mother Bear, and then hit them for 2. Okay. They play an Island. They play a Rime Tender. They play a Soul Herder. So Soul Herder gets to flicker and gain a 1/1 counter here. Alright, let's see what we draw. Mother Bear. Okay, so we're not down ticking Renin 6. Pick up a land. Play a land. Okay, that can be done anytime at instant speed, so we're just going to swing out. If my opponent, whether my opponent blocks or doesn't block, we are activating Seasoned Pyromancer as a combat trick. Okay. They take 6, lose their Rime Tender, go to 5, and we play another Mother Bear. Pass the turn. So worst case scenario is our opponent plays like an Astrolabe into a Dead of Winter. But that's a very specific line, and our opponent scoops it up. Alright. We are completely undefeated going into round 3. And round 3, here we go. Alright. Rhymestag Savage Swipe is nice, along with Pyromancer, Lava Dart, Sinkhole. So we're definitely keeping this. I think this is an excellent opener. Opponent starts Island, passes. We draw Forest. Play a Mountain, pass the turn. This lets us leave up Lava Dart, as well as sequences our lands in such a way that if we need red on turn 3, we don't mess up and play multiple green lands on turn 2, or something like that. Okay. Play Snow-Covered Forest, play Rhymestag, pass the turn. Now we would need a mountain in order to play Seasoned Pyromancer. Opponent attacks for 2, okay, no blocks. Ninjutsu, yep, they draw a card. We untap. We draw Bellowing Elk, okay. We'll play a Forest. Unfortunately, we do not have a creature we can play right now. So our best bet is to just Savage Swipe and attack for 4. Okay, pass the turn. We really need to draw land. Okay, opponent plays a Dragscape Sliver. No third land. Alright, we draw a mountain, which is excellent. Play Bellowing Elk. Go to combat, hit them for 4. Now, if my opponent has another 2-mana ninjutsu, or they play a land and have a 3-mana ninjutsu, they're going to get in because we are not blocking with Bellowing Elk. Okay, they play an island. So if they have Moonblade Shinobi or Plague Engineer. Plague Engineer on Elk. Wow. Quite effective, actually. We untap, we draw Krosan Tusker. We are 1 mana away from sinkholing here. So I think the plan is to Trumpeting Herd. Okay. Go to combat, attack. My opponent wants to double block, we kill the Plague Engineer. Okay. They take 3, go to 9. Yeah, I think we've beaten them simply because while they got mana screwed and then we curved out. Like, their curve involved unsummoning a creature that they played themselves, and we just played effective, powerful spells this entire game. Carrion Feeder. Unsummon an elephant. No, I'm not going to pay to do that. Okay, we untap. Trumpeting Herd rebounds. Cast Trumpeting Herd. Make Bellowing Elk indestructible. We draw a mountain. So, play a mountain. Start by lava darting. Okay. That takes care of that problem. The opponent concedes. So the only way our opponent could save Carrion Feeder there is to sack their only blocker, and then we would just lava dart it again. So that was pretty nasty. And we were not running out of cards anytime soon. Alright, opponent is playing blue-black ninjas. I mean, I'm pretty happy with our deck. I don't think I need to adjust it. Like, Lava Dart might be relevant, but we saw only one X1. And we really don't want to be killing X2s with it unless we have to. So, with one more land, I would consider it. I'm going to mulligan. That might have been keepable, but I will keep this. I'm going to put back Treetop Ambusher. I know Treetop Ambusher is good, and we want to be aggressive. Okay, opponent plays Changeling Outcast. But, like, I also want to cycle Krosan Tusker. Okay, opponent probably has ninjutsu here. They do not. Interesting. They don't have anything. Okay, we draw Spring Bloom Druid, so play a mountain, play Mother Bear. Pass the turn. So if my opponent does not have, like, on-curve ninjutsu, they're going to be a little sad. We draw Lesser Masticore. Okay, how do we want to do this? We can Savage Swipe and get rid of their unblockable guy. The fact that they have so much mana open tells me that they have some other kind of trick. And I'm trying to think about what that is. It could be a Spell Snuff, it could be a Convolute, I think that's in this format. It could be a kill spell. Let's Savage Swipe. This represents a lot of damage if my opponent can't kill my creature. Okay. Get in for 4. They take 4. Alright. Play a mountain, play Masticore. We're going to have to discard Krosan Tusker here. This is only bad if my opponent has the String of Disappearances or a counterspell. So, it was Exclude. This wasn't relevant for the Savage Swipe play, but it is relevant for anything else we were going to play, so. Better to have that done now, even when it's like a 3-for-1 because they draw a card and we had to discard, than later. Alright, so play Waterlogged Grove, go to combat, attack for 2. I'm going to telegraph to my opponent that I have something. I'm going to cast Springbloom Druid now. We're going to sack the forest and get a forest and a mountain. And the reason that I'm doing it this way is because I want 3 mountains on the board. It lets me cast and then flashback Lava Dart and still have double red for Igneous Elementals that we could potentially be top decking. And this also allows me to have double green still. The only way that this is bad is if we need to sack Waterlogged Grove for some reason. Okay, it is no longer bad. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Okay, they go to 11. Plague Engineer. Alright, our opponent names Bear. Not a common name. But let's sack Waterlogged Grove, see what we draw. Forest. Okay. Let's dart. Flashback dart. Wow. Okay. Pretty high value hitting Archmage's Charm there. Archmage's Charm is a really powerful counterspell that, like, they could have used to take an elephant from us, kind of a deal. Or counter a spell that has Rebound as an example. so we don't get either half of it, you know? Sling Gang Lieutenant. That's annoying, but it's not game-winning. Okay, Trumpeting Herd rebounds. We draw Seasoned Pyromancer, which is our most amazing top deck. So play Seasoned Pyromancer, we get to draw 2 cards. Another Exclude, okay. Well, I didn't think they would have this many counterspells, to be fair. Go to combat, attack for 3. Opponent can trade with Plague Engineer or block it down if they want to, but our opponent is running out of cards. They're going to block it down, really? Okay. I did not anticipate my opponent doing that. I don't know why they're so keen to protect Plague Engineer here. Because you would think if my opponent had Ninjutsu, okay, they're going to give Plague Engineer indestructible. I was going to say, if my opponent had Ninjutsu, you'd want a Ninjutsu Sling Gang Lieutenant. Like, it's not mana efficient, mind you, but like, getting the extra tokens could give you reach and life that you need. Opponent does not block. Okay. If they're not blocking and they don't have a trick of some kind, they almost certainly have another counterspell. But I can't really play around that. I can make it awkward for them and just let them keep the counterspell and then Seasoned Pyromancer on their end step or something, because they can't counter that. But if it's Spell Snuff, it's fine. If it's Exclude number 3, holy hell, it's not fine. But like, I can't afford to play around this. I just need to try and close out this game. Alright. Pass the turn. And because we have Seasoned Pyromancer in the grave, we have a guaranteed creature enter the battlefield trigger. We're just going to take 5. If my opponent has a board wipe, then so be it. Or if they have Ninjutsu shenanigans. Okay, they get to draw 2 cards. But we're going to have a big swing back. They could replay Plague Engineer here and name... I don't even know what they would name. Elemental? Yeah, they play Dregscape Sliver. Plague Engineer. I think we win this race as long as my opponent doesn't have the Vampire Ninja that grants lifelink or a way to like pump their whole team, which I'm not sure exists in black in this format. Okay, they renamed Bear. We draw mountains. We're going to hold on to that mountain. Make some elementals. Make Bellowing Elk indestructible. Go to combat. And attack for... You know what? We're going to attack with Mother Bear. Because this... Our opponent has to choose between taking 1 damage or double blocking the elephant here. And if they double block the elephant, we can do this. Okay, and they go to 3. If they didn't block... Or if they blocked Mother Bear, next turn they guarantee a creature enters the battlefield trigger. And Bellowing Elk will have trample and indestructible. Which I think would guarantee they lose, because they just can't block enough. They can unearth Changeling Outcast with Dregscape Sliver to draw another card, because that's one creature we absolutely cannot block. Okay, they attack with only that creature. This should get exiled rather than go to their hand. Yep. Mist Syndicate Naga. That's annoying. We need to top deck like a creature, I think. Unfortunately, Lesser Masticore is in our graveyard, and I did not take a second one. We untap. We draw Springbloom Druid. So we're definitely playing that. I think we just play that and swing out, because our opponent will have to block 4 toughness here. So it'd be like this, and then they would have to block like here, here, and here. Well, they wouldn't have to block here. Maybe we just attack with the Bellowing Elk. Play Springbloom Druid. Sack the forest. Get a mountain and a snow-covered forest. Go to combat. And attack here. As long as my opponent does not have a big, like, team pump or my team is unblockable move, we should be okay. They no longer have any unblockable creatures. The question is, which is more important, Dregscape Sliver or Azra Smoke Shaper? And considering my opponent doesn't have any changelings in the graveyard, I think Smoke Shaper, just because it's bigger. Okay, the vampire gets slightly larger, and we pass the turn. One of the things I really like about Cordial Vampire is that it's the only vampire in the set. I think there might be one other one, but I think this is the only vampire in the set. And because its ability is absurdly powerful, right? If you play a bunch of vampires and you play Cordial Vampire, it's broken. But the only other vampires in the set are changelings. And so it's a way to, like wow, this is a really cool vampire card, as well as it's useful if you get it because of the changelings, but the changelings are undercosted most of the, or are overcosted for what they are, usually, right? They're common creatures that have every creature type basically stapled onto them. And I just think it was a really cool design decision in Modern Horizons Limited. Opponent plays a carrion feeder, okay? Opponent attacks. I do not like that attack, opponent, because we can do this. This makes Cordial Vampire large. Oh, it actually makes it large enough. I did the math wrong. Okay. And everything is fine. But this lets us kill the vampire and still get in with an indestructible elk. Opponent's best move is to sack that to Carrion Feeder. Oh, sack Carrion Feeder to itself. There you go. I totally forgot they had a sack outlet on board. Oh, wow. This is going to come down to a punt-a-thon right at the end, isn't it? Well, make bears. If we attack out, they have to block everything, I think. They have to block at least 2 things. So they could, like, block here, or block here, actually. And they would be attacking back with, like, 9 damage, which would be a problem. I don't like it, but I'm going to have to just attack with the elk, because I'm dumb. Because we need a large number of blockers. Because I didn't save that for a trick, and I should have. Okay, pass the turn. Okay, opponent top decked a Watcher for tomorrow, which is nice, because it's a tapped creature. Okay, they hide away a card, but they're out of cards in hand. They can't get in to deal damage, so they probably just stay on defense. They have something in the grave they can use. Oh, scour all possibilities, okay. Opponent ponders from the grave. They leave both on top. That's scary. Winter's Rest. That's a problem. Okay. That's lethal. They don't have a flying blocker. Play Dragonheart. Sack Springbloom Druid. And the game is over. As well as the match. So we get 150 play points and a treasure chest. Let's open the treasure chest, shall we? Alright, we get 5 play points, a Rite of Ruin, and ooh, a Sword of Fire and Ice, which I think is actually worth something right now. And this is the original Dark Steel. Yeah, it's worth a ticket. Nice. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed this Modern Horizons Supreme Draft, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you like this video, please leave a like, drop a comment, I'll respond, and subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined. You can also follow me on Twitch, same username over there as you can find me on here, and I stream every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I want you to know that you're all wonderful human beings, and I greatly appreciate your viewership. Bye!